Today I have quite a few projects to finish up, so let's get started. The first thing that I want to do is to make a template of the door that will potentially be here. So I have this piece of cardboard that I have from some packages that have been delivered. And I am just going to begin to cut away to see what the door needs to be. Now remember, my door has to go behind this wall because on this wall I'm going to be having a table that when it's folded up it looks like more like a picture frame, and then when it's folded out it looks like a table or a desk. So the thing that is standing in my way here, though, I will show you, are these things. So in order to have this 3/4 ply come out the way that I wanted to and have enough room, and also have enough room in front here, I use these 4-inch brackets. So this makes it a little more complicated. I don't know whether I need to go below here or whether the slide that I'm going to be using would just go over that and it would glide fine. And it's just because of the way that I'm doing it. Other people may not have an issue if they've done their walls a different way. But because I've chosen to do my walls this way, I have this issue. And remember, I will be finishing the edges here and all of that. That will come at the end. But for now, these tiles are holding really well for anybody who's wondering. And the temperatures have fluctuated between really low teens in the night to high of 60 so far. So I haven't been in really, really hot temperatures yet, but I think the adhesive is doing really well. Even on these little ones, somebody was worried that I'd lose these tiles because they're at the edge here. They're all holding really, really, really well. So yeah, it just doesn't come off. So I'm very happy about that. Very good adhesive for these. So I will be doing that in a minute. Something else I wanted to show you is this. So it kind of looks funny right now, but all I did was buy these are like 1/8 inch basswood, and it's usually used for small projects like wood carving projects. What I'm gonna do is just adhere these to the back here because this is not a load bearing wall, or I'm not doing anything fancy here. So I will put these back on here, and then I am going to tile it with these same tiles back here. So I'm going to continue this look across the wall. Then I will be putting these shelves up. Now somebody asked what about the gap there is between here, and for that I have these pieces. These I think are 1 by 2s, and it just fits inside here. You'll see I have a piece here and it just slides in there. I will adhere that as well. So to have these things adhere, I'm using liquid nails or the Gorilla Glue because they just need to stay in place. And from what I've heard, liquid nails is just as good as some screws, especially when you're not having load-bearing things. The only thing that I will screw in are these. They'll just stay like that and they'll be screwed in pretty tightly. So that's the idea. I still have to put my ceiling on, and there will probably then be some type of finishing trim that I'll have to put up there. But same thing, I'll probably liquid nail it up there. So that's an easy way to be able to get some extra storage for me. And so that is a project that I have to do. So I have to find a pencil, tape measure. Let me see. From the step up to, that thing is 61 inches from the top of the step to the bottom of these little brackets, which leaves a little gap up here, which I can then fill in with something, make it look nice. So functionality is the real issue and key. I just don't have a pencil. Let me find my pencil here. I also want it to go over by at least an inch, if not more, on the back. So I'll cut it to 16. Maybe I'll cut it to 18 to begin with and see how that works. For the sliding door mechanism, I'm going to be using these. These are sliders for a cabinet door that is a hiding cabinet door. And the reason these sliders will work for me is because this can be on the door here and hidden when it comes all the way out. So basically this part will be attached to this wall, then this will be on the front side holding it, but it will come out just to here. So you actually won't see this. This will all be hidden behind the wall and still able to hold up the door, if that makes sense. So this is a little hard to tell. I'm in my cab and it's hard to film because it's such a tight spot. So I attached these to the door, both up and down. So there it is down there. And tried to get it as level as possible. And now I will attach it to the wall, both here and down there. Here's another angle. And in front, this is basically how it will look. And with the trim, hopefully that little bit will be hidden. But I wanted to show you, on a regular slide, there wouldn't be this square. It would just be the pole, and I didn't know how that I would attach something to it if I just used a slider for a drawer, say, or something. So this turned out to be something that I can use. I just put a couple screws just to make sure before I start drilling away there, make sure it works before I do anything more. Well, I got her done, but this is on ball bearings, so it's like that's, it's pretty smooth. So I just maybe have to put a little more grease on it or something. But yeah, it works. Yay! So these have dried overnight, and they dried exactly like I wanted them to, so they provide me with a smooth surface that I can now put these tiles on. And this is purely aesthetic. I would encourage you to try different things out. In my last van, I was never really too worried about things, so I was a little more daring. This time I feel like I'm overthinking things too much, and the simplest things are still the things that work the best for me. So I would encourage you, if you haven't thought about something, try it out. You can always change it. turned out really nicely. You may have noticed when I was putting them up that there's a little bit of give, because behind there is just that thin board that is directly on the insulation, and I actually don't mind that. In fact, everything in my last van that was more flexible and malleable seemed to fare very well. In fact, sometimes better than the things that were more rigid. They would tend to crack or break. So I don't mind that, especially because there's nothing that, this is just for looks. So then these shelves will be on top of it, and they will be the things that need to be more rigid, and it is also aesthetically pleasing. So I am very glad for how this turned out. Still gotta get this one in. I have one more little surprise for you before I go, but if you are still watching, thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Oh, it's in. This is the table that I have been talking about. This has protective coating on it still. I haven't gotten that off. And then basically it will come down like this. As a table. And this is one chair that I have that is also a storage ottoman, and it can be moved around in this space, or I can use it to sit down here. So that for now. I also may get a folding chair that will go behind the seat, but I am very happy with this. And this is then how easily it just stores up here. And click. And I'll fill in these holes, make it pretty, but yay.